We're here with Scott Rhodes, who's a second unit director and stunt coordinator, and he's worked on a lot of projects. He and I worked together on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Once or twice?
Yes, once or twice. We are going to talk to you today about what's called hustling, and not street hustling, but hustling to get yourself into a movie. So, Scott, tell us what you know.
Well, one of the mistakes a lot of people make, whether they're stunt people or actors, is that they don't treat this as a business. You have to treat this as a business, and you have to sell yourself as the product. It's not enough to have skills. Skills are important. It's not enough to have drive. Drive is important. You have to know what shows are being shot, where they're being shot, who the stunt coordinator is on that show, and how to contact that stunt coordinator and hustle so that you can get work on that show.
Okay, so now let's break that down. There's 4 very important things right there.
Right.
Number 1, how do you know where a movie's being shot?
Well, there are different ways. You can contact the mayor's office or the city. You can find out, there used to be a site called the EIDC site, which is the mayor's office, and they have a list of what's being shot where, TV shows and movies.
Okay, so the EID site would show where...
EIDC, yeah, it's
EIDC.
through the city, especially in Los Angeles.
Okay.
New York City has the mayor's office, which handles that. We have EIDC, which is located in Hollywood.
All right.
Another way is a publication called the Stunt Contact.
Stunt Contact.
And that's a subscription service that comes out twice a month. It's available to stunt performers. And what it is it's a breakdown of every film and TV show being shot or being prepped that month or the month following.
Okay, so if I'm sitting in Arizona,
right,
but I'm not a stunt performer, and I want to get that information, is there a way for me, as a guy just starting out, to find out, get that sheet?
Yeah, the Stunt Contact, it may be stuntcontact.com, but you can also go to the Stunt Players Directory site, which is a website geared for stunt performers, and they'll have a link to it there.
What is that? Is that stuntplayersdirectory.com?
No, it's actually stuntplayers.com.
Stuntplayers.com. All right, and that's players with an S, not a Z, because it's not street.
Yes,
it's
with an
it's
S.
just got the regular old S, the way it's supposed to be. All
Stuntplayers.
right. So they go to that. So those are those 2 ways. And now how do you, okay, so now you know where it's being shot.
Right.
You know what the film is. We've discovered it. How do you find out who the stunt coordinator is?
Well, the best way not to approach that is to just call a stunt coordinator at home and say, hey, I'm a martial artist, I want to work on your film. Right. What you do is, especially with the Stunt Contact, it'll have the title of the film or TV show. It'll have the production office, it'll have a telephone fax number, and it'll usually enlist who the stunt coordinator is. Okay. And then they'll also list productions that are looking for stunt coordinators. So you get the person's name, and from there you have 2 steps. One, you can mail your composite, your headshot, whatever, to the stunt coordinator with a note and follow up with postcards. Or another way is to actually visit the set. You find out where the production is being shot, who the stunt coordinator is.
Right.
You go to the location and wait for an appropriate moment, or ask one of the ADs or assistants, who the stunt coordinator is. Okay. And you take about 30 seconds to meet him, hand the headshot over, say, hi, it was nice to meet you, I'm a stunt person, here's my material, and then you leave. Okay,
good. Now, you made a good point there, and that is, 1, wait for the appropriate time.
Wait for the appropriate time. You don't go right in on the middle of a take and go, hey!
Right. That's the surest way to never get yourself a job.
Absolutely.
Now, you saw also some technical terms people might not be familiar with.
Sure.
One is AD. What is an AD?
Well, that's one of the. Well, usually a film will have a few different ADs: a first AD, second AD. Okay. The first AD may be busy, but basically, you can run into a second AD or a production assistant, anybody who can just point out who the stunt coordinator is, so you can eyeball them, see who they are, and then when that person isn't busy, you can approach.
Now, they're usually the person wearing the headset. AD stands for Assistant Director.
Yes.
And then a PA stands for Production Assistant. And there's different levels of people that are helping kind of behind the scenes on the film.
Absolutely.
And those people can be your best friends, or they can be your worst enemies.
Your worst enemies.
If you just try and, if you're rude and, if you're just not following protocol, or if you're just...
Well, again, too, the one thing a lot of people have to realize is that even if you're the best person in the world, you have excellent set etiquette, you do everything right, you're going to get different attitudes from different stunt coordinators. Some stunt coordinators are very user-friendly. They'll welcome you, say, hi, how you doing? Yes, hang around, do this, do that. Other stunt coordinators don't want you there. You're like number 39, of different stunt people who came by to hustle. I've even heard horror stories of stunt coordinators ripping up headshots right in front of the people. It goes back to having a thick skin and being persistent it takes years to get known and get your face seen by different stunt coordinators where they want to take a risk and use you for something.
And that's a great point, and we've been making that in different interviews, and that is, you'll get 20 no's before you get one yes, but it only takes one yes for you to get your career started.
And it's happened too, where like somebody drops by set, they're a stunt person, and the stunt coordinator absolutely needed that type that day. Those stories go around all the time. They do happen. They don't happen often, but they do happen.
Right. So from one extreme to another.
From one extreme to another, and it's going to be somewhere in between. Or you may be hustling your first stunt job, bam, you nail a contract, you're on a picture, or you may be hustling for 2 years before somebody finally sees your face and you get the call.
Right. That's all great stuff. Any other? Well, now the other thing too, with after the 9/11 events, security on movie studio lots has gotten tight. I mean, I remember I used to just be able to walk right onto any lot and just kind of wave to the guard. Now they stop the car. They don't let you go without a pass. You've got to have special clearances to go on the movie sets. So it's a little bit more challenging. So I think you have to be a little more creative to get on a set now.
You also have to pick your battles. Waiting to see what's on a studio lot might not be the best way to go. What you may want to do is wait until they're actually in location shooting.
Somewhere in the city.
Somewhere in the city, like in the suburbs, because they do a lot of location shooting even on TV shows. So find out when they're doing a location shoot, which is listed on the EIDC site. That's what they list, like what permits were issued to what companies to shoot where. And then that's, you look at the time, you look at the location, and you say, oh, yeah, let me go hit Buffy. They're shooting here today, and maybe the stunt coordinator will be there.
Right, because it really is very challenging to get on a movie studio lot right now.
Yes, but things are real tight. You have to have an invitation or you have to have a permit. So you used to be able to sneak on the studio lots.
Right.
Not that easy anymore.
Yep, I'm just flashing back to times that we snuck on and snuck by the security guards just kind of waving. But it doesn't happen anymore. You can't do it.
Or the other alternative is if you're doing extra work and you happen to be on a movie shoot or you happen to be on a TV show and you are on the lot, it could behoove you to just see what might be shooting on the lot that day since you are there and you're permitted to be there.
That's right.
And then go shop yourself around.
Yeah, on your lunch break, just go hit some different sets and stuff like that.
It's done all the time.
Just so people know, tell us what a stunt coordinator does.
Basically, the stunt coordinator is the head ramrod on the show. He choreographs the action, hires the stunt people, and gives the director and producer the required action based on the script.
So he sets up the fights and then takes them to the director, shows them, and they kind of help mold those together.
Absolutely. A stunt coordinator can cross different lines because if you get a page on a script, a director who knows how to shoot action can be very specific and say, I want this, 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 and this, and you give it to them. Or it may just say, there's a chariot race, and then you have to create it from scratch.
Wow, so very challenging.
Yes.
So now when you're working with a stuntman or a stuntwoman that comes to you, what are the things that you're looking for?
Basically that they really enjoy being there, they're professional, they're versatile, and they play well with others.
Play well with others.
Play well with others.
Very good. Martial arts skill, is it a plus or a minus?
Definitely a plus because Hong Kong has taken over the box office now, so it's not... I would say versatility is very important. It's not only important to know like karate and kung fu and boxing, but it's one thing to be able to do a Hong Kong fight, but you also have to be able to do a John Wayne Sunday punch and just do a knockdown, drag-out brawl. So I would say for stunt people to be versatile in their fighting techniques. And
gymnastics, would you recommend people learn some basic gymnastic moves? Or
absolutely.
That all that will help them, yes?
Yeah, anything that helps going to the ground and getting back up and cashing the check, whether it's gymnastics, wrestling, grappling, or going to stunt school, getting training, it's important.
Very good. Now, you worked on a big project, Daredevil.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
We did 2 weeks. Jeff Amato was the stunt coordinator for the barroom fight, and Wu Ping's brother was the fight director for the rest of the fights on the film. But it was 2 weeks in a biker bar. And it was just playtime. It was second unit, so we had a lot of time to just do techniques, beat the hell out of each other, and whatever we got just wound up on the screen.
Very good. And you recently coordinated a film that I think a lot of people are really going to want to see, and that's Batman versus Predator.
Yeah, it's sort of in the lines of Animatrix, where they did like an 8-9 minute version of the Matrix, and this movie's Batman versus Predator with aliens and the Joker and a bunch of people thrown in, and it's sort of a test project to get the feature-length one greenlit. So there was a lot of fights, a lot of stunts between Batman, Joker, Predator, and aliens.
Wow. All right, so here we go. Tell us an on-the-set story.
Well, without using names, one of the first shows I worked back in New York was One Life to Live. And the coordinator had choreographed a fight between the star of the show and one of the other actors who was playing a cop who used to be an ex-hockey player.
Is this One Life to Live, the soap opera?
The soap opera.
Okay.
So they choreographed the fight before lunch, they blocked it out, everybody worked the fight beautifully. They got the moves down. Came back after lunch, they yelled action. The guy being a hockey player blinked out, grabbed the guy, and actually popped him.
That's great. Did he like pretend he threw his gloves down too? Like,
No, he just went action, bang.
It hit him.
Yeah, hit him, for real.
Wow. So I think that the main thing for us to let people know is when you're fighting on camera, you don't even need to be close.
You can be, well, it depends on your director and your angles, but yeah, there's a lot said for cheating. You don't need to be close if you know your angles.
Right, and we're actually going to cover that a little bit later. We're going to talk about camera angles and reactions and how that works and how it makes you good.
Right.
Scott, listen, I appreciate your time. I know you got other projects going on, so thank you. You got to get out of here. That's Scott Rhodes.